Tomorrow will mark 25 years since the world lost Princess Diana.
So the Princess of Wales is often credited with changing the way that the royal family is perceived. Here to talk more about the icon is Emma Hart from the University of Pennsylvania. And Emma, welcome this morning.
Thank you very much.
How did Princess Diana change the way that we see the royal family?
So, being a historian, I tend to take the long view on this. But briefly, I think she brought them down from a rather sort of cold, distant and formal and stiff image and made them seem much more down to earth. The British royal family has always, throughout history, had to work at cultivating its public image. It hasn't had much political power for a very long time. But by the 1980s, British society was becoming a bit more loose and fluid. There was a lot of new money around, and the royal family seemed increasingly out of touch. They'd been part of a sort of stiffer, older Britain. But Diana was really a breath of fresh air. She was more relatable. She wasn't your average woman in the street, of course, but she was someone that your average woman could relate to. And of course, she was also immensely glamorous.
Yeah, and Emma, I mean, that's really the key there. That's probably the reason that the British people, and for that matter, people here in the United States, embraced Princess Diana and loved her for the person who she was and what she represented. Can you talk a little bit about that, the people and their love of Princess Diana?
Yeah, I think that their adoration of her, really, or their adulation of her, was based on that glamour very much. I think although she was wealthy and glamorous, of course, she was, as I said, also very relatable. And I think women looked up to her both as a glamorous person, but also as a mother to two young boys, to William and Harry, who she, of course, tried to raise in a much more normal way than previous royal children had been raised and educated. So I think that was important, but I think also she was very looked up to because of the charitable causes that she took on. She used her profile, for example, to help AIDS victims on both sides of the Atlantic. She held hands with AIDS victims, and famously, when she visited New York City in 1989, she cuddled children with AIDS in a hospital there. She also worked with the landmine charity Halo to bring attention to people who were civilians who were being killed in landmines. And I think these good causes that she took on were really respected by the British people.
Well, we know she obviously had an impact during her time here, but what about her death? What kind of an impact would you say that she had on the British people after she passed away?
Well, I would say that the impact that she's had actually has changed over time quite a lot, and it's a lasting impact for sure. At the time that she died, and I still lived in Britain at that time, the nation was overtaken by mourning for her. People lined the funeral route as the cortege drove from London to her ancestral home in Northamptonshire. People lined that route for miles. I think, of course, after that initial period of mourning, what happened was that the royal family continued to be placed under the spotlight more for their reaction to Diana's death and also to their sensitivity or not to public opinion. So I think it really put the royal family under the spotlight. In the longer term, I think that the impact of her death has really been the transformation of her into an icon that the royal family will always have to reckon with. And of course, the ongoing presence of her sons, William and Harry, means that legacy and that iconic status will never be forgotten.
Yeah, that's right. William and Harry are carrying on the legacy of their mother and all of the charitable work that she has done. Emma, it's so great to catch up with you. Thank you for sharing some thoughts and memories about Princess Diana and her impact on society, not only in the UK, but also here in America. Emma, great to have you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.